is Rachel Adamsley. For those of you who do not know me, I have been in real estate 8 years. And I started my business door knocking 200 doors a week, doing 3 open houses a week. Within 3 years, I had hit top 1,000 agents in the country, and I'm been in business now 8 years. The last 5 years, we've been thankful enough to be top 1,000 in the country. We have a beautiful team. We have a lot of amazing people we get to work with, and I run 4 different companies. So I run 4 different businesses, all 6-figure businesses, and all of them are ran widely through social media. So I actually have been building my business through real estate virtually for a long time. So when the quarantine happened, it honestly, regular practices, there was some adjustment, but other stuff, there wasn't a ton of an adjustment to. So some of you are watching this right now live on Facebook. Other of you are watching this on a replay. Some of you are going to be watching this on YouTube. So wherever you are right now, if you're watching this on any platform, I want you to head to the comments and I want you to tell me where you are. Where are you right now? Like physically, where are you? Are you in what town you're in, and what room of your house are you in? So I'm currently in my home office. I'm in El Dorado Hills, which is outside of Sacramento in Northern California. And I want to know if you're wearing yoga pants, because I told you yoga pants were part of this party. So I hope you're wearing yoga pants. I am wearing camo yoga pants, because why wouldn't you, right? All right, so I get to have people tuning in from all over the world right now, and I love it. I'm so excited. We had like over 800 of you register for this. So what we're gonna be doing is we are going to be talking all things virtual, y'all. All things virtual. So what happened is when the pandemic first hit, I feel like the first 2 weeks, I was like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to drink a lot of cocktails. We're going to knock these cocktails back and we're going to figure this out. I think I was kind of like in La La Land a little bit. And, you know, most days have been really good. There's definitely been a bit of an adjustment. After we found out that the, shelter in place was going to continue, I decided that I needed to find a way to support my family and my different teams that I run and my people. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just connecting with my real estate team. I wanted to make sure that I was also helping all of you. So I made a post on Facebook and Instagram, and I said, hey, if you guys are going to be building your businesses, and obviously we're all doing this virtually, let's get together and I'm just going to share with you what I'm doing, what's working, how we've shifted things, and then hopefully it adds value to you. Hopefully that's what we do. You guys know that I love coaching and giving back and connecting, so that's what we're doing today. All right, so first things first, I absolutely, Morella just said sip literally. Yes, I was sipping literally. So first things first for all of us that are in real estate, when we did this training for my real estate team, which you guys know I have a layout, and I emailed this to everybody who registered for this training. But the one thing that we let it off with, honestly, it was gratitude. It was gratitude, because there are so many people right now that are out of work that physically can't work. They physically aren't able to. Their company's been shut down. They've been laid off. So the first thing that I want to do is just take a second and share some gratitude. Like, we are so fortunate that we are in a business that we can still work. We can still provide shelter for people. We can still fulfill the American dream. I don't know if you guys saw, I did a post yesterday about this veteran who I've been working with, and his sister, before she sent him over to me, she warned me. She was like, he's a handful, like, be ready. I was like, okay. And he was a total sweetheart. He just been through a lot. He had 2, failed marriages, and he had been homeless 3 times. And you guys, we did his closing, and it was nuts. We had like a delay for a Section 3 termite. Have you ever heard of Section 3 termite? But I got to share his story on social media with his okay, and provide hope to people. And that's something that we can do. We can provide hope right now. The thing is, not every real estate agent is going to make it out of this. Not every real estate agent is. This is going to take some people out of the game. But every real estate professional, they're going to make it. And you are a real estate professional. Otherwise, you wouldn't have time blocked to watch this training today with me. So thank you. And I'm thankful that we get to do this business. All right. So first things first, if you're going to be shifting your business virtually, you have to pick a platform. So on our team, we have chosen to do Zooms. We set up a Zoom. So if you are going to have a buyer broker, so I'm going to walk you through like everything we're going to talk about today. We're talking about everything in the real estate transaction, from a virtual buyer broker consult to a final walkthrough inspection to walking through with the home inspector. I'm going to give you all the systems that we've implemented. Not all of this is going to work for you. Totally okay. My hope is that you get a few nuggets that do, and I hope this adds value to your business. That's really all that this is about. I believe in sharing and contributing and pouring back, and I think that it's way more fun to share than to just keep it all in. So we are using Zoom. That is the platform that we're using to do our buyer brokers and our listing appointments. And the reason that I like Zoom, and truly you want to be the real estate professional in this, right? So what you're going to do is when you set up a Zoom for your client, you're going to actually, instead of just like, hey, click on this link, you're going to actually go into Zoom and set up a meeting. You set up a meeting and it's going to say buyer consult with Rachel, right? Or whatever it is, with Rachel and Joe Smith. And you set up a time, you set up a date. So you actually give them a meeting. So when it sends them an invite, it's a professional meeting, because you're a professional. So we're using Zoom for our platform, and we have uploaded our buyer broker consult to Google Drive, and then we turned it into a PowerPoint. So you can either, if you don't want to do PowerPoint, you literally could just scroll through your documents. You'll combine everything in one PDF and you can just scroll through it page by page. But what's so great about Zoom is you still can see people, because right now, they want connection. You could do a phone call, absolutely. And yet I'm going to encourage you to get out of your comfort zone and do a Zoom. Do a Zoom, because I think that will make the difference for you in having them actually feel your energy and your trust and your professionalism, okay? So definitely get a Zoom. If you don't have Zoom, you can do Facetime. We're obviously going to talk about some different tactics you can use, but Facetime's really powerful. If you're doing a conversation with one of your clients, I encourage you to Facetime them. Obviously, not every day I'm showering. I don't know about you. I'm excited for days I don't have to shower. Most days I'm doing some kind of a Zoom, so I have to have like my hair done. And, you know, I would encourage you to just embrace FaceTimes with your clients. And we're going to talk about a little more about that with lead generation. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is lead generating with quarantine. So right now, your clients, your community, your past clients, your database, they want to know that you're okay. They want to know that you are okay. They want to know that the market's going to be okay, because why? They want to know that they are going to be okay. And they're looking at you to give them that reassurance, right? So if you are not posting anything on social media about real estate right now, you're actually doing a disservice to your community. Now, it looks a little bit different, and I did this script earlier, and it's also on YouTube. I'm going to give it to you quickly now, because I think this is an important part of virtual training. So with your clients, maybe you have clients who you're that amazing agent who's super on top of it, and you always call your database 4 times a year, and you're just like, if every past client knows who you are. But what if you're that agent who just never really plugged in the way you should, and you have someone in your database you haven't talked to in 4 years since you sold them a house, right? I don't care if this is 4 years ago you sold the house, Joe down the street, apparently Joe is my example today, who is, you know, it would be a cold call, or if this is someone who you sold a house to and you're really close with, it doesn't matter. What you're going to do is you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to call people. You're going to call your database, your clients, right? And you're going to say to them, this is all pre-recorded somewhere else, so you guys have this script. However, you want to be reassuring your people that everything's okay. So I would call and they would answer the phone and I'd say, hey there, you know, this is Rachel, your local realtor. And I just wanted to reach out to you. You know, usually I'd be calling you and letting you know a house that just sold, you know, down the corner from you. However, that doesn't really feel appropriate right now. So I just wanted to reach out to you, and I just want to see if there's anything I can do for you, either personally or professionally. I mean, how are you? And then I'm quiet. And I let the conversation go wherever it does. Now, in the very beginning, they weren't asking how I was or anything about the market. And when, you know, the quarantine first hit, I think people were just sort of scared. But now what's happening that has gone long enough is they're saying, so how are you? Like after they're done sharing, how are you? How are you doing with everything? So this is what I want you guys to do. whatever market you're in, I want you to figure out how many houses are being bought and sold in your local community, the area you service, right? Either in the last month or the last week, whatever number you choose, okay? And when they ask how you are, you're gonna say to them, you know what, actually, surprisingly, the market's pretty strong. You know, a lot of people are really concerned that prices are going down, but you know, we haven't really been in shelter in place long enough for prices to go down because, you know, it takes a few months for anything like that to happen. Actually, the market's pretty amazing right now. In fact, last month we had 600 houses go pending, or like whatever number you have, right? And what I will tell you is, if buyers are out right now, they're serious buyers. They are absolutely serious buyers. They know that they're going to have a mask and glove and have the safety precautions needed. And interest rates are still really, really low. So there are absolutely buyers out there. And gosh, if you're a seller, well, there's very little inventory on the market. So what that does is it puts you in a really advantageous position. And in fact, in my market, we're getting multiple offers right now. So it's pretty amazing. And then I'll also talk about something with Henry and Ryan, right? I'll talk about something personal, because obviously my whole world is going around, you know, my whole life is Henry. Like, we're quarantined with this cute little person. I told Ryan if he's in a good mood to bring him in so you guys can see him, because he's adorable and everyone should see a cute baby named Henry. But you know, I always want to touch on my life as well, because you are more than just a realtor. You're more than just your career. And so you always want to make sure that you come from the heart with this, because this time right now, you guys, this is the time to be relational, not transactional. Your people want to know that you care about them, but they also want to know that you're okay. Again, because they need reassurance that they are going to be okay. And then we have a really fun thing that we share where we give them a scavenger hunt. So we have these 6 scavenger hunts that are super cute. And at the end of the call, we say, you know, one of the things we're doing for our community that's really fun is we have these neat scavenger hunts, and we would love to share them with you. Just add a little lightness and fun to your life. There's a nature scavenger hunt, a rainbow scavenger hunt. Can I get your email and send that over? So this is the time to be building your database. You might not have, you know, 15 listings flying off the shelf or whatever it is and taking new listings every week. You might be. That's fantastic. And this is the time to build your pipeline, build your database. So those of you watching, in the comment section, tell me how lead generation's going. Tell me what you're focusing on. If you're dialing, obviously we're not allowed to do open houses in California. And it was interesting. We were actually not essential, and now we are essential. So it's interesting, and yet it's not business as usual. So you don't ever want to say that it is business as usual. Another thing that's really good that you can do to reassure people with real estate is a post, because what are you going to talk about in real estate right now? Well, you could even take a picture of this training you're doing right now. And you can say, you know, and this could literally be a post that you're making. You could say, you know, a lot of people have been reaching out to me and asking me how the real estate market is and how I'm doing. Well, to be honest with you, and say how you're doing, right? But as far as the real estate market, surprisingly, you know, things are going really, really well. You know, last month alone, 600 houses went pending, right? So you'll say your stat, and then you also want to say, you know, and is it business as usual? Absolutely not. But is there a way? Yes. And so this morning, even just this morning, I was able to learn from a top agent in the country, or whatever you want to say, right? About how she's reaching out to her clients, or what's happening in her market. So you want to share with them, like, the market's okay. And it's okay. And then, is it business as usual? No, it's not business as usual. However, you know, please know that as your real estate professional, your realtor of choice, I have all the safety precautions for you. If you're looking to purchase a house, you know, interest rates are still really low. I'll have the gloves, the mask. We can do everything virtually for you, because I have a game plan. I have been able to pivot my business to make sure that I can still give you the best service out there. And just something to show them that you've got it. So is it business as usual? No. Reassure them that you have a game plan for them. Talk about what's happening in your market, and not like a brag of like, look at how many houses I'm selling or whatever. Like, It's amazing. If my friends are telling me how many houses they're selling right now, I'm like, heck yes, good for you. That's amazing. But do it in a way that you're reassuring people, right? I think there's a way to do it and there's a way isn't not to do it. Just like when you get an award in real estate, you don't go, look at me, I'm so amazing. Da, da, da. It's like, no, thank you so much for the people who've trusted me with the biggest decision they'll ever make, which is buying or selling a home. All right, you guys. So next thing up here, let's talk about your mindset with calling people. Your mindset. Your job here is when you're calling people, because we're able to do things virtually, right? You're not in person with them, is be prepared. Be prepared when you call them. Have your numbers, have your scripts ready, have your objection handlers ready. Like if they're like, well, how are people looking at houses right now? Oh, you know what? That's a great question that you have, and I have a system for you, right? So just come in with the mindset that you're adding value to people, adding value. I know that right now there is so much value that we can add to our communities, and people are, they're wanting to know that the market's still moving and that you have got them. And that's like my post yesterday with Paul. I wanted to give hope to people. It wasn't like, hey, you should buy with me or sell with me. But it was like, hey, I care about my clients. This is an amazing story and I want to add value to you. That's a real estate post that's going to get you referrals. In fact, 2 referrals came from that post from other real estate professionals who follow me on social media. And they're like, that's the kind of person I want to represent my clients. That's how you can build a business through social media, you guys. Social media is so powerful right now. And there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. Okay. I want you leading with empathy and human connection. That's what I want you leading with. I do not want you leading with the sale, because if you're out there just thinking about what you can get, they're going to feel that. I want you to think, how can I give? How can I add value right now to others? Okay. So let's see. What else do we want to talk about? Reassuring your clients. We talked about that. Communicate confidence in the modified process. Okay. Now when you're working with the client, before you set up the meeting with them and you're just kind of like feeling them out, you want to ask kind of their level of comfort with everything going on right now. You really want to dig into your people and ask how they're doing. And if they're looking to purchase a home, you want to be able to share with them that you have a game plan. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be setting up a Zoom for you. So, this call right now is obviously just to learn a little bit more about you, but I'm actually going to send you a calendar invite for next Thursday at 2:00, whatever time you guys set up. And we're going to be able to do a buyer consult, and I'm going to walk you through the entire home buying process from A to Z, all the fees you're going to, you can expect, and just what the process looks like. And, we're going to be able to set up a custom portal for you right there during that Zoom. And by the time we hang up, you're going to be able to have your perfect search portal already ready for you. So you're not going to have to scour the internet looking at Zillow and all the things. You can actually have a custom portal. I'm going to create it for you. And I'm so excited about this process. And then you know what? When you want to look at homes, I've got you dialed there, because we're going to have gloves. I'll provide gloves and masks and Clorox wipes. I want to make sure that I've got you. You're going to be safe and this is going to be okay. And there's certain rules. So know where you are, because there's going to be rules in your county that might be different in mine. As of yesterday, we couldn't show an occupied home, right? So it's just different, but learn what the rules are, because when you are communicating with your sellers and your buyers, you want to have confidence in this. Okay. All right. So the next thing is, let's talk about how you do a virtual buyer broker. So we're going to go specific on these things. So when you're doing a virtual buyer broker, you're going to have your intro call with the client, phone call. Then what we do is we set up that buyer broker appointment, just like we talked about. And then you set the expectation for them, just like I did, right? So, so on Thursday, we're going to be having a phone call at 2:00. We're going to go through the entire home buying process, A to Z, the fees. You're going to answer any questions you have. By the time we're done, it's going to be so exciting. And then you want to share with them how you're going to show property, what that process looks like. And so for the buyer broker, I want you guys to upload your presentation you normally do in person. I want you guys to upload that either and make it into a PowerPoint presentation, or you can just scroll. But make sure you combine all your documents ahead of time. I know this sounds silly to go this in depth with you, but you'd be surprised. We don't practice on paying clients. I'm going to say that again. We do not practice on paying clients. You want to be able to have this prepped ahead of time. So if you are doing a virtual buyer broker, I want you to practice with your sister or your spouse. I want you to set up the meeting ahead of time, send the invite ahead of time, have them accept the invite, and then practice going through your buyer consult or buyer broker, whatever you call it. Practice, 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 because you don't want to be like fumbling through it and, oh, it's not working and what happened. Practice before you go with a client, okay? And you're just going to walk them through your process just like you do if you're sitting in the office with them. You're going to get to do your MLS portal right there. You're going to set the expectation. You're going to introduce them to their team, right? You're going to talk to them about who they can expect during a transaction, all the fees, how it works, the timeline. You just go through the whole thing and they get to see you and they get to feel you. And I'm telling you, and when you say, I've got a game plan for showing property, which I'll go through that with you next, they feel really good. All right, so that's buyer. And at the very end, I'll leave this open for questions, but I'm going to be rolling. So you guys stay tuned. Okay, the next one is listing. So how do you do a virtual listing appointment? So listing is a little bit different because you have some options here. So again, you want to make sure you understand the comfort level of your client. They might not want you in their home, you guys. That might make them uncomfortable. Really quick question just asked, is your buyer agent in the Zoom meeting with you? Janine, if your buyer's agent is going to be working with that buyer, absolutely. If you're going to have a different showing agent than you, absolutely. Whoever would normally be at a buyer consult appointment is on that Zoom. If your lender wants to be there, however you want to do it, it's a party. It's a buyer consult party. All right, so for the listing, same thing you're going to do. You're going to have a conversation with them. You're going to go over the comfort level of the client, and then you want to let them know you have a game plan. So we actually I'll have a whole game plan already set up for you for how we can sell your house virtually. Now, obviously, you're going to need to know that there is different rules based off where you live, right? But you're going to set up your appointment the same way. You're going to set up your Zoom, or if you prefer a Facetime, that's fine. I like to do Zooms because I have documents. I have a presentation, my listing presentation. I worked on it for 8 years, and I love that sucker. And I could do it in my sleep. And again, practice ahead of time, and then you're going to set up your listing appointment, and it's no different than normal. The difference is going to be when you sit down, it's not different, right? Because you go through your presentation. The difference is going to be showings and how you see the house. So 2 options. If it is allowed in your state, in your county, you can do socially distanced where you have gloves, you have masks, you have your sanitizing wipes, and ask the seller, if you need to open a door, ask the seller to open it for you and keep your distance. Keep that 6 to 10 feet, right? And so I would encourage you guys that if you're doing a listing appointment and you're doing it in person, keep the distance, but set the expectation ahead of time. Now, I just had a situation where I went on a listing appointment and the seller wanted to shake my hand. And this is like the other day. And he wanted to shake my hand. And, I just said to him, obviously, everybody has their own comfort level. And, we have state regulations of how we need to behave as real estate professionals. And so I set the expectation ahead of time. And I said, so I just want to let you know, I'm going to come, I'm going to have a mask on, and I'm going to have, gloves, and I'm gonna, I really want to make sure that I respect your boundaries and keep you as safe and healthy as I can. And obviously I let them know I don't have any symptoms. I don't feel sick or have a cough. If I did, of course I would reschedule. And just, again, you're reassuring them, right? So your option to view the house is either in person or the other way that we're doing it is we're doing it through FaceTime. We're doing it through FaceTime. If you have an Apple phone, an iPhone, which you should, because the regular argument in my house, because my husband has Android, is that Apple is better. Okay, if you're watching, this is your next assignment. Comment. Are you an iPhone? Or are you an Android? I'll know which side you're on. So do a walkthrough. So if you have an iPhone, you can do a FaceTime through the property, and the seller, I have them step outside just like I would if I was walking through the house for my first time. I say, so I want to walk through the house just like with the eyes of a buyer. So can you start outside with me? And I want you to because I want to see the curb appeal. I want to see what we need to do if there's any repairs or things we need to do on the exterior of the home. So we start on the outside and I have them walk me through the house. If you have an Android, you can use, I think it's called Google Duo, I want to say. I'll ask my husband when he comes in here. But we've been using that as well, because if it's an app that I can download as a iPhone user, and it works really well on an Android phone. Yes, all my iPhone people. Few of you little rebels with that Android. Don't put exclamation points, Debbie. Don't sass me. All right, you guys. So those are your two options for the listing appointment. And then you want to make sure that during that listing appointment, you get their okay on how they're comfortable for showings. I would encourage every single one of you to do a virtual tour of the property. Pay your photographer to, while they're there, and most photographers are pivoting to have this option if they didn't already. They are able to go through the property and make a virtual tour for you, whether it's just photos and music or it's an actual video tour. The other thing that we're doing is Matterport, so you can have a 360-degree tour of the home. And I would encourage you guys to make sure that you have some kind of a virtual option. Worst case, which I just had the other day, my clients were not comfortable viewing home. The agent took their phone and they just walked through the house and did a recording, and they sent me like 14 different little clips of the house, and I sent them to my client. They were in the Bay Area, and I was like, we got you. Where there is a will, there is a way. So there's always a way to make sure you can do it, but talk to your seller. And then I would encourage you as an agent to provide what you can. Obviously, I know there's shortages of gloves and masks and all of that right now, but do what you can to provide gloves and masks and Clorox wipes and booties and things for your client so that they feel safe and protected. Again, it's setting the expectation. They shouldn't be asking you, what is your plan? Like, how does this work? What about showings? You should, when you set up with them, so I have a plan for you. And let me share with you what I'm doing, right? Let's see. So we talked about, okay, so now how to do showings. Let's talk about showings. So again, if you are going to show property with your client, I want them to come in a separate car. Do not drive with your clients right now. Separate car. And make sure that you provide gloves and masks. Have the conversation ahead of time. Send them ahead of time the houses they're going to view in the order in which they're going to view them. They'll be in their own car. And then when you get to the property, you'll do socially distanced showings. Make sure that you check ahead of time for the guidelines in your community of if you're allowed to show occupied homes or not. Every place is different, so I can't speak to what you have right now. What I can tell you is that we are doing showings with social distancing, and we're also doing showings by video where I, the agent, can walk through the property, and it's vacant, usually in our area, and I'm taking video and I'm showing them exactly what I'm doing. So that works really well also. Let's see. So those are your showing options. How to do virtual open houses. Okay, so virtual open houses are definitely important right now because people still need to be able to see the home. So that's why it's so important right now to have a virtual tour, you guys. What you can actually do is you can go on Zoom, you can host, so you literally can still say, guys, on Saturday at 11 a.m., I'm going to be hosting an open house at 123 Main Street. You know, has beautiful mature trees, it has a pool, right? And I can't wait to show you all through this house. So join me right here on my Facebook page or my Instagram, wherever you're showing them, for a virtual open house. So what you can do is you can actually host a Zoom, and you can do screen share. So your little pretty face will be in the corner, and then you're going to be sharing your screen, and you're going to be walking them through the house. So whether it is you're doing a Matterport tour or you're highlighting your virtual tour that you had done for you, you can absolutely do that. If it's allowed in your county and the seller's comfortable with it, you could even do a Facebook Live and walk them through the house. Just walk them through the house and say, I'm going to be at 11 o'clock, I'm going to be going live showing you this incredible property, and you can walk them through the house. And you want to have fun energy, have music. You could even be really cute and be like, oh my gosh, you guys, if you could smell these chocolate chip cookies in the oven right now, right? Whatever you normally do at your open house. Where there is a will, there is a way. Like I said, not every real estate agent is going to make it out of this, but the real estate professionals will. You have to have a game plan, and you have to think through all the different things that are going to come up with real estate. So that's why I have my outline. I know all the parts. And when with my real estate team, like I told you, the first 2 weeks of quarantine, I was like cocktail city and just like, oh, la, la, la. And then when we realized it was going to be lasting a while, right? I was like, what can I do to take care of my agents? Because my team has goals. And I have goals as well for the year. And just because this is going on, we still have bills to pay. So how are you going to pivot? You don't pause your business. You don't stop working. You just shift it a little bit. You can do this. Like, you can do this. We can do this. Okay, next thing, how are we going to do inspections? Okay, you've got a couple options with inspections. Now, you need to talk to your home inspector and ask their comfort level, as well as the sellers and the buyers. 3 options that I would say to give you. Now, option 1, social distance. The home inspector, you, the buyer, and you're all socially distanced. You all have the protective gear 6 to 10 feet away, right? And you're doing the walkthrough in person. That's option 1. Option 2, you, the agent, are there with the home inspector, and the home inspector is walking through the property, and you're videoing everything and doing a Facebook Live, a FaceTime or a Google Duo with the client, and you're walking your client through as the home inspector's there. So they still get to see it all in real time. They just, and then they can ask questions, right? So you're there with the home inspector. Third option is the home inspector's there on their own, and they take a video. They take a video of the walkthrough. They talk the buyer through everything. Here's the gas shut off, right? Like, we found a little bit of dry rot here. And then they can upload it to Google Drive, because the video is going to be large, and then they can email it over to you and your client. So that's your third option for home inspector. Option 3, nope, just kidding. Final walkthrough. Okay, so for a final walkthrough, you could do socially distanced walkthrough. Final walkthrough, again, check the comfort level of everybody. Or you can walk it and take a video, or do FaceTime for your client. So you have options for the final walkthrough. Some states are saying that they're not even saying you have to do final walkthroughs. They're not even saying you have to do AVIDs. They're not saying you have to do visual inspections, which, God bless it. Those things are like the bane of my existence, I tell you. I mean, I'm just not an AVID fan, you guys. I know it's part of the business, and I absolutely do them, and I don't love them. I don't know if anyone else feels that same way right now. You can do it virtually, or you can do it FaceTime. Like, you have options with the walkthroughs, right? And the visual inspections. Like, you can literally walk through and do your thing. Sometimes, though, with visual inspections and final walkthroughs, your broker might say that you're not allowed to do them. Like, I know New York can't do any cold calls. They can't do final walkthroughs. Like, they're really, really strict on what they can do. And so you literally can say that the final walkthrough could not be completed due to COVID-19. Like, get the broker, the wording from your broker, but it's good stuff. If you just want to make sure you're covered, and there is a way to do it. Let's see, how are appraisals done? So in certain areas, appraisals are not being done in person. They are pulling stats, and they're driving by the neighborhood, but they're not actually physically present in the home. They're not walking in the home. They're asking you for photos, and they're taking exterior pictures, and they're doing an appraisal with that. So if that is the case, now talk to your appraiser ahead of time. This is your job. When the listing agent, when they call you, it's your job, obviously, to get the most money you can for your seller, and for buyers, it's your job to, support the price you offered. So you want to make sure that you are talking to your appraiser ahead of time and asking what their comfort level is. What is your system? Are you doing in-person appraisals? And if they're not, then you need to make sure you have that upgrade list ahead of time. You need to make sure you have really good photos, because you're supporting that value, right, for the property. And if they are doing them, then business as usual. Just make sure they should be providing gloves and masks and like all the things. They should come with their own stuff. But as the agent that you are, you're going to be on top of it, so you'll know. I just realized I have like one eyelash left on the side. Look at my little lashes. There's like 4 of them left. Squirrel moment. This is why I'm in real estate. All right, then what else we have? Let's see. One thing that I would encourage you to do, if you can, when you get to the request for repair stage, at least here in California, we are having major delays on files due to COVID. And so one thing that we're doing is we're actually, when it comes to the request for repair, we're asking for credits so that we can have a contractor do it after we close, instead of have the termite company and the this and the that and all the different companies come out and do it. The reason for that is some people aren't even, like, we have roofing companies that aren't even working right now. They won't work right now. And so you can't close on a house if there's roof repairs that need to be needed. Like, it just gets crazy, right? So I would just say, if you can, get a credit right now, because it makes it a heck of a lot easier. And then just make sure that you have the correct wording for your lender on that, so that they don't, it doesn't pause the file. Let's see what else. Signing documents. So get DocuSign, get ZipLogic, get some kind of a virtual signature platform so that you can sign documents virtually. We've been doing it for years, and some people prefer not to do that. I had to turn down when COVID first hit, and it was non-essential here for real estate. I had to turn down a listing because the seller was like, I only do things in person, and she was like in her 80s, and I was like, I can't risk it. I can't, even though I felt fine. I was like, I had just gotten off a plane from Hawaii, and I was like, I can't go to your house and do it in person. So get a virtual signature platform. And again, when you are talking to your clients, buyers and sellers, I've got a game plan for you, whether it's showings, a final walkthrough, signing documents. I have everything dialed so we can do this completely virtually, so I can protect you, your family, and your home. Also, thank you cards, calls, video texts. So if you are doing database calls and, you want to, it's been a while and you just want to like send some messages out, try doing a video message. People really want to see your face. Like, you guys have really good looking faces. Like, I can't see your face right now. I see your profile pictures, but they want to see you. So don't be afraid to do a video message for someone. Send a video text. Like, in fact, I challenge you guys today, send a video text to one of your clients. Just let them know you're thinking about them and you hope they're doing well. Like, that's your challenge today. Go out there, get outside of your comfort zones, get outside of your comfort zones and do it. Thank you cards. Okay, look, you're home. I'm busier than ever right now. Like, I don't know about you guys. Like, I'm freaking slammed. I'm like call to call to call to call. I take a block for food, I have a time block to eat with my family, and then we go on a walk. But other than that, I am working, right? Working more than ever right now. And take some time to write thank you cards. I want to challenge you to send out 5 cards this week. Post office is still working. Send out 5 cards, just telling, like, gratitude cards, telling someone you're thankful for them, for their friendship, for their business. Send out 5 handwritten cards. I don't care how fancy technology is and how cool it gets. There's nothing that beats a handwritten card, you guys. A handwritten card in the mail. All right. Do you feel like you know a little bit more now? Do you feel like you have a game plan? Like, this virtual business, like, I honestly think when we can go back to business as usual, it's gonna be different, because now we know that there's a way to do this stuff virtually. And some people are like, yes, I don't wanna have to work the way that I did before. Some people are like, you know what? Today's the day I'm not wearing pants. And that's okay. Don't wear your pants. You can still do real estate. Just kidding. Please wear pants. But you know what I mean? Like, it's like I'm in yoga pants literally every day. I have not put on real pants since the quarantine hit. And I'm good with it, right? Like, your business can be anything you want it to be. And virtual businesses right now, it is where it's at. So you guys, thank you so much for your time today. I'm very grateful that you spent some time with me talking about virtual business. If this added value to you today and you are taking a picture on Instagram or Facebook, or you're posting it, please screenshot it and tag me in it. I want to know what you got out of this, and I hope this has been helpful for you. I just appreciate your time. I know that everyone's busy, and I appreciate that you time blocked for me. We've been gone 40 minutes, and I'm making a post about this tomorrow, but I am having you guys know that I believe in multiple streams of income, and I am having a party on Thursday next week and raffling off like $600 in free prizes and talking about one of my other companies that I run virtually, and it's so much fun. It's obviously, I know you guys saw like my before and after picture that I posted on Facebook the other day and Instagram, but I'm going to be talking about this product and that hair, and how if you're interested in having like a home-based business, how you can do it and build a side income, because right now, especially with the quarantine going on and being in real estate, I am very thankful to have an additional stream of income. So if you guys want an invite to that party, just send me a direct message and I'll give you the link for it, because it's a private party. But that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for your time. I just appreciate you. This has been such a crazy, who in the world would have thought that we would be living through a pandemic? Like, who in their right mind? Like, I think it's just so nuts, but I am so thankful that this is a way that I can connect with you guys, and we can build our businesses together, and it's just so much fun, and you're so welcome. I love all you guys on here. If you're interested in my other business, my little side hustle, I have a ton of real estate agents on my team, because we obviously understand lead generation. Not everybody needs to buy a house right now, but everybody wants good hair and everybody wants better hair. All right, you guys, have an awesome day. Thank you for your time, and I hope that you got some value, and this will help you build your business virtually. Your clients are just looking to know that they're going to be okay, and you can be the one to reassure them. All right, have a good day. See ya.